Welcome to this episode of Connecting Cherokee. Today's guest is Ryan Stotsky of 0 to 400 Drone Services here in Cherokee County. So welcome, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right. So Ryan, I actually found, I came across his company online on Facebook through Cherokee Connect and was really intrigued in the services that he offers. I'd never heard of it before, and it's very much needed. So his service helps find missing pets using his drones. Like I said, I was so intrigued. I just knew that I needed to interview him today and get the word out about how cool his company is. So can you tell us about 0 to 400 Drone Services?
Yes.
Right? So you're a veteran-owned small business here in Cherokee County, and you had served in the Navy, right?
Yes, I was in the Navy for 8 years as an aviation electrician doing electrical and wire repair on F-18s.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service to this country. It's love having veterans on here and being able to promote you guys. So tell us about your company and how you got started.
Yeah, so right now the company, we got started about 2 years ago. We shifted gears multiple times. I started off doing FPV drone flying, but there's a huge FPV community here in Atlanta that are very top notch. Actually, one of the world's top FPV pilots lives here in Atlanta. So shifted gears. My mentor was like, you need to find something, a niche, and then get inside of the niche and get inside of that. So I was like, all right, well, let me look into thermal. Now, I know it's a very technical role. There aren't that many that I know of doing it. So I just jumped straight into it. Went and got myself self-certified as an aerial thermographer. Went and jumped and got the M30T the second it came out. May have not have been the best decision, but that's the one I went with. And initially started off wanting to do solar farms, wind farms, looking for those type of inspections in flat roof buildings. But that's been surprisingly harder to break into than I anticipated. And I got asked hey, could you help me search for a lost pet in Columbus? And I was like, well, I haven't used the drone in a while. Let me just dust it off and see what I can go find. And we found one of the 3 dogs that were missing in like the 70 so acres that were out there. And I was like, all right, well, it was the one-time fluke. And then somebody asked me to come search again like 2 months later. And, it was a very far and few between for searches. And the common thing I was seeing was that people were calling me 8, 9, 10 days after the animal went missing. And, after that amount of time, he could be in another county, picked up at someone's house in the pound. So not high chance of success. So I decided to make a post on Cherokee Connect just saying, hey, this service exists. I can help, look for lost pets. The sooner the better. And it, immediately blew up. I expected to maybe do 1 to 2 searches a month with more frequency, and it went from the first week at about 12. So it was just inundated with search requests. And so now it's just been 3 months now, and it's just been word of mouth, campaigning. I've done searches all the way in Dallas, all the way up to Gainesville, and I've only ever posted on Cherokee Connect. So that the information has just spread like crazy.
Yeah. That's a very powerful Facebook group.
Yes, very much.
So I also saw that you had done a missing persons, that you had gone to help out with that down in Macon?
Yeah, so there was a 80-year-old individual who was senile and kind of got out and about, and they have I forget the name of the company. It's Locate Life, and their software pretty much looks for certain color codes for clothing that they were wearing, and we scanned a certain portion of the highway. We were told to search north about 2 miles of stretch, about a quarter mile to a half mile in on each side of the road. And we just essentially ran an automated mission taking photos, and we uploaded those photos. And they scan through their algorithm looking for certain color codes. Like they'll pick up Coke bottles, Pepsi bottles, or just even the slightest bit of color. And fortunately, they found him, but he wasn't alive. But he was found actually about a mile south of where I searched. So kind of helped them narrow down. Okay, he's not up here, and they went down a little bit further south, and they ended up finding him.
But that's huge, though, right? Having that closure, being able to locate that person.
I think he had been missing for about a month at that point. So the family was just like, they found his car, but they couldn't find him.
Yeah, but that's important. That's helpful, and that's needed. So pets get out all the time, and unfortunately, there are times when people get, they find themselves lost.
Mm-hmm.
Even hikers,
Yep.
right? So I'm sure there's all kinds of, in the North Georgia mountains here, there's going to be lots of use for your services.
Yep.
So, well, that's wonderful. So you are originally from Tampa.
Yes.
What brought you up here?
So born and raised in Tampa. Parents were divorced when I was about 8 or 9, so moved to Colorado, and then from Colorado joined the Navy, and then was in Virginia Beach for about 8 years. And then when I left the Navy, I had 2 job opportunities, one in North Carolina working on electric buses, and the other one working at the current company I work at now, which is a high voltage diagnostic cable company. And I asked my wife, like, hey, they both pay the same. I don't care either which way. Where do you want to live? And she's like, well, I have family in Georgia, so let's go to Georgia. So it was a flip of a coin, effectively.
So what would you say your favorite part of being in Cherokee County is?
The community feel. Like where I was at in Virginia Beach, it just felt so. Like it wasn't quite like a big city like Atlanta, but it wasn't small enough. Like it's like the perfect middle ground of like not middle of nowhere, not big city. Like people still actually hang out and talk with each other and actually communicate. Yes, yeah, very much. Like there has not been a single dog search that I've done where we have to go outside of the owner's property and go to somebody else's property random, and they'll just say, hey, we lost a dog. They were last seen here. Do you mind if we take off from your driveway? And every single person's like, absolutely, go ahead. Do whatever you need to search.
Yeah, I love Cherokee County.
Yeah.
So you've done the dog searches, you've done different types of things with your drones. What is your favorite memory working with a customer?
So the most recent, one of the most recent ones, there was a dog that had been missing for about 6 weeks in Atlanta. Most searches are after 48 hours are pretty much just zero chance. Like I've had zero success after 48 hours because there's so many variables of where the pet could go. But the owner did not give up. He was searching, asking for people's Ring doorbell camera. He was on every next door community he can get to in the immediate area. If he had a sighting, he would look around for like police cameras that were up and asking for like requests from the city to get timestamps for the cameras of that area to look for the dog. And we probably went out about 7 times looking for this dog in different areas. And I got a call saying, hey, I physically put eyes on her. Like she ran into these woods. I need you to come out tonight as soon as you can. So as soon as I got off work, rolled over to where she was seen. It was probably about a good mile stretch of forest in the Atlanta area. And we search and search and search. And we were about to like, all right, we need to kind of call it. I see heat running through and we like see her. So now I'm just frantically charging batteries, trying to keep my drone in the air with lights on them. And the dog was super skittish after 6 weeks, super malnourished, and just didn't want to come to anybody. So we just had to eventually leave a huge pile of food and water to keep her in that area. And then I get a text in the morning saying, hey, we got her.
So I came across that story on your Facebook account, and it's hard not to get emotional over that. I mean, because that's a big deal that those families have got to have experienced hopelessness, but determination at the same time.
Oh yeah, they were not giving up.
Yeah, so that was an emotional roller coaster watching that video. So you are a new father.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
So how old is your little one?
He's 3 months as of like 2 days ago.
Awesome. So first one?
Yes.
So now being a father, what do you do in your spare time when you have some spare time?
So when I can find it, I like to go fly FPV drones. So they have full access controls like most DJI drones, the stuff you can get from like Best Buy. They're GPS controlled, like you can let go of the sticks and they'll kind of fly and hover themselves. Whereas the FPV drones, you have full control for flips, rolls, full acro.
Wow.
And I like to chase one of my buddies. He flies airplanes. And when we first met, he used to fly just line of sight, typical normal, looking up at the sky, looking at his airplane. Now we have this thing heavily modified with a flight controller, GPS system, head tracker, FPV camera so he can turn his head and look around like he's actually flying in the plane. We've had some cockpit views, and I just like to chase him around. We'll fly over through some tree gaps or around some gaps in buildings and things, and just chase each other around.
That's fun. That sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah, for him, from his point of view, it looks like he's flying in an airplane, so it's great.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, so what is the next level for your business? Where do you see taking 0 to 400 drone services?
I would love to eventually, have extra, pilots on payroll or either in the immediate area or neighboring states, kind of doing the same thing, expanding, this type of service out to other people. Like there's some people I'm working with that are like in other states. So if we get, requests for like somebody's asked me to come all the way up to North Carolina and just based off the distance, I wouldn't have been able to get there at a reasonable time to search. So I had uh, that connection where there was a pilot in North Carolina that was significantly closer than me, and I was able to get them connected and kind of do that. But I would like to hire a few more people in Cherokee just due to the sheer amount of searches. Just being one person,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell people that hey, I can't come out tonight because I'm already either actively searching or I have one scheduled for tonight, and having to push it to the morning, which could push it out of the 48-hour window, or they could that could have been the opportunity to find them, and it'd be nice to just have an extra pair of hands.
Do you find that searching at night is more, your success rate goes up?
Oh yeah, so we've recently added a spotlight and speaker system to the drone.
Okay.
We were just flying regular, the drone in its own power. We're kind of reliant on the nighttime or the dusk and dawn time frames to search. But now with the spotlight, it's much more beneficial to actually search at night because everything is cooled off completely, and the animals, they stick out like a sore thumb. I routinely find squirrels, rabbits, groundhogs, so little tiny objects from 200-300 feet up in the air. So a 12-pound or even an 80-pound dog, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay. Lots of deer.
Yes, there are tons of deer. Deer and rabbits are prolific in the area.
I believe it. I believe it. All right. What is one nugget of wisdom from your line of work that you would like to share with us today?
From what I've noticed is when animals go missing, they look for water sources. Most of the ones that we have found have been near water. So if a pet does go missing and there's like a pond, a lake, a river, something like that nearby, that would be the very first place, to search, especially if they're missing for a few days. Water is key. So that's generally where I end up finding most pets that have been missing for over, 24 hours, 48 hours are around water sources. That'd be the first place to try and go check.
And earlier the better to contact you.
Exactly. Yeah. The earlier I can get up in the air, I know some people have called like, hey, they've been missing since like 6 and it's 9, which has been fantastic. I'd rather get out there just a few hours after they've gone missing because sometimes Wood did one where they were on like a 200-acre farm and it was all flat and stuff, but it's hard to search 200 acres by foot, especially with only 1 or 2 people.
Oh yeah.
So just being able to directly go to where they're at, guide the person over to them, and say, hey, they're over on this plot. Yeah, I know how to get over there, and then they could see them running over to the truck or whatever. It's great.
I love this service. I'd never heard of it before, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that need to know that this is available because it can make the difference.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, well, how can people find you online?
So Facebook is the number one way that people find me the most. I've had a few, Nextdoor, and I've had some ad posting, or not ads, but people share the flyer that I've made from there. But yeah, mostly Facebook and my cell phone number. Most people contact me that way directly.
Okay. Well, go find him online. I'll have the links posted. Like, comment, share, get the word out. This is a service people need to know about. So. Well, that is all for this episode of Connecting Cherokee. I'm Amber Holcomb, Realtor with Atlanta Communities. And if you are interested in being featured on this community website, let me know. Or if you are interested in talking about my real estate or estate transition services, I'm here to help. Thank you and see you next time.